Hey folks, so another intermission episode here. Same as last time, just a video covering a topic that doesn't really fit into the main series, but is something I felt was worth talking about. If you're only interested in the tutorial side of things, feel free to skip like last time, but I would suggest at least watching the first part of this one. So, what's the topic for today's rambling? Well, main topic is about the series itself. No, don't panic, I'm not giving up. However, I am slowly coming to the point where I'm going to have covered or redone all the work I've done in my past 10 plus attempts at this project. And what that means is episodes are going to be slowing down a little bit, as I'm now starting to have to spend more time thinking about things. A good example of this is the inventory system. I never actually got further than adding content to an inventory. I hadn't set things up to actually be able to be used or dropped from the inventory, which is why I ended that portion of the series and moved on to the Chrono Manager, as well, I needed some more time to figure out how I wanted to get the rest of the logic for the inventory system set up. So, what does it mean for the series as a whole? Well, as I mentioned, the frequency of episodes are going to be slowing down. I've been releasing an episode every day simply because I could sit down for a day and knock out 4 or 5 episodes in one recording session. There's almost no editing time required with how I do things live, so to speak. I actually hit a point where I had a backlog of over 10 episodes that needed to be encoded and uploaded to YouTube. Now, I don't have an exact time frame of when things will be slowing down, but it's looking like it'll be somewhere around episode 50-ish, where I finally reached the point that I've ended up redoing everything I've done in my past attempts. Now, what that actually means is the frequency is going to be going down to 2 to 4 episodes a week, and that's going to vary. Instead of, as I mentioned, how I've been doing an episode every day. And that's simply because I'm going to need more time between each episode. Now, is the style going to be changing? The simple answer to that is no. I don't want to change that. I personally feel the approach I've been taking helps better with the learning aspect of Unreal Engine 5 than the other tutorials out there that are just do this with no explanation as to why. Now, that's just a personal take. I'm not trying to say my approach is better. I'm just saying that for my learning style, how I've been recording things is the way I find the best way to learn. So, I'm going to have to be pre-planning things between episodes. No, that's not going to be at a code level. That's at a design level, which is actually something I mentioned in my last Intermission episode. I thought I had everything together and documented, all the requirements set up and laid out, but looking over it again, well, I didn't. And that's why things are going to be slowing down. I need to take what is a 20-plus year old, I'll call it a game design document, but honestly, it's nothing more than a binder full of jumbled notes, and try and convert that into something usable for the rest of this project. Yes, I've been, well, I won't say working on it, but I have been thinking about this game for 20-plus years now, and there's a lot of notes, ideas, concepts, and general nonsense in the binder that, well, I have to sift through to figure out just what I want and how I plan on achieving it at a code level. I'm still going to be recording the stumbling through the code, the Unreal docs, the Google searches, and all the mistakes that I've been making in the first part of this series. I'm just going to have some notes off to the side. You've heard me mention it in episodes. I've done that anyways. That cover just what I want to try and achieve with each episode. If anything, these new episodes, and I'm doing air quotes like you can see me, the new episodes are going to have more of that experimental stumbling through the code than the first portion did. Then, over and above having to slow down because I need to figure out the work I'm going to be doing, well, at the time of recording this, the summer holidays are coming to an end. Kids are going to be going back to school, and I'm going to be going back to work after a long summer vacation. It's also going to slow down the frequency as I have your typical 9-to-5 style job. Don't worry, I've already included that in my estimated 2 to 4 episodes a week. It's not going to reduce it any further than that. Now, I'd love to do this full time, but I have a family to think of and bills to pay, so I just simply can't. A few of you have noticed I do have a Kofi account. For those who don't know, it's like Patreon, but it allows one-time donations as well as your monthly subscriptions. No, this is not intended as a plug to try and get donations. I just know with the nature of the internet, mentioning something like, I have to work to pay the bills, someone's going to come out and say, well, I'll set up a Patreon. Sorry, condescending tone. Anyways, so I'm covering that topic now before it comes up. I've had a Kofi account since I started the channel, and this is the first and hopefully the last time I'm even going to mention it. I set it up if anyone wanted to show some extra support, but let me be clear here. I do not expect anything. I'm not going to be offering bonuses to supporters or anything like that. No shoutouts in the credits, that sort of thing. That's why I don't have membership tiers on Kofi. The series will remain 100% free and accessible to everyone. I personally don't like having information gated behind a paywall, especially when it's like mine. It's not super high quality and not 100% accurate information. If you want to throw me a toonie, it's $2 Canadian for those who don't know. Just grab a coffee, great. But throw a like, a comment, subscribe. That's more than enough. It helps get this series out to more people. We're living in a time where money is not that easy to come by for a lot of people, and I do not want to add to that stress by making people feel like they should be throwing money at some guy on the internet because he's offering them a tutorial series. That's why I picked Kofi over Patreon, is it allows one-off donations and doesn't force a subscription to do so. Links in the description if you want. Don't feel like you have to. Oh, talked more about coffee than I wanted to. Anyway, so the short of it, frequency of my episodes are going to be going down in the somewhat near future. Like I said, somewhere around episode 50, might be closer to 60, I'm not sure yet. I'll make a community post about it when I know for sure, so that people can expect the frequency of the episodes to drop down. Which reminds me, for anyone who is interested, I've set up a Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now. I give up, the formerly known as Twitter. Not sure how active I'll be on there, but I will try. Community posts that go up on YouTube are also going to go up on X. There again, link in the description if you want. Now, that's all I wanted to cover this episode. I know it's not exactly anything exciting or informative like the last intermission was, but it was something I felt I needed to talk about, as I didn't want people to start panicking when my episodes started slowing down. I'm not giving up on the series. I plan on following this through to the end. But anyways, as always, thanks for listening to my rambling. Any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.